Okay, back to the RavenCourt. We are pretty much on the final day. Also, apologies, there's no camera for the first map. There's a bit of a problem with the cable, so it's not properly charging. Probably will have it ready for game 2 and a potential game number 3, but at least for the first draft, there's not going to be a camera. Dynouh against Madara. Very interesting match because, first of all, Madara is undefeated. Madara has played 3 matches up to this point, and he hasn't lost a single one yet. Team Dynouh, they lost 1, they played 4, so these two teams find themselves in the top 3 right now, as does Skok and his team. So it's a very interesting best-of-3 series, which will tell us a lot more about Madara himself and the way that his team is going to perform here than up to this point we could gather. But just to recap things a little bit, so we're now in the first phase of the RavenCourt tournament. We have 6 teams that fight a full round robin here, and all of these teams make it to the next round. But there is a bit of a caveat, because if you don't make it into the top 4 out of these 6, you start in the losers bracket in the final phase of the tournament, which is a double elimination system bracket. So you really want to make sure that you're at least in the top 4, and then even within the top 4, it's obviously important that you additionally also making sure to get yourself a good position there, just to make it a bit easier in the winner bracket. And currently, Madara has actually a shot to make it into the pole position, and he is definitely one of the captains that surprised with his team a lot when they made it. So very curious what exactly they can do now against someone like Dynouh, because obviously Dynouh has also been one of the favorites with his team, and generally speaking he performed very well in that role, but they suffered at least 1 defeat, and that was, interestingly enough, at the hands of Team Skok. So as I said earlier, Skok, Dynouh and Madara currently form the top 3. And Madara won against Skok's team without even dropping a map. So it's a really wild dynamic, and probably one of the most anticipated matches ever since that happened. Now, Dynouh himself starts things off with Genji and with Muradin, which now means there is a very good chance that the red team is banning Anduin or pick him for themselves. Don't usually want to go up against Genji that gets some light bomb assistance. And now, since we're heading here into Brexis, we got Zarya and we got Stukov, so we actually get a full-on race car play with Garrosh and a very powerful bot lane. I already like the way that they're approaching this. It was kind of interesting to see that Brexit got taken as the #1 map in the first place. We don't have it that much, but this time we're actually starting things off here. Yeah, now that they're seeing this lineup, they're saying, okay, when it comes to sustainable damage, we're going to take Vala away from you. That's just not going to be a thing here. Next up, ban. What is it going to be? Is Anduin going to be eliminated here, or do they just remove something else instead that they're worried about? I mean, Anduin would be the long-hanging fruit. You know that combo is a good... It's a good bet that this combo is being used if you don't remove it. They eliminate Mephisto though, so they're fine with a light bomb play. If it gets taken... I mean, it is a nice combo, but we've seen a lot of times teams also moving away from this. If you, for example, prioritize mobility here on Braxis more, then you could go into Kharazim. Muradin can jump over, Genji can traverse the terrain, and then Kharazim can follow. So if just roaming on the map and trying to get maybe an isolated hit against somebody with a Storm Bolt and a follow-up 7-sided strike, Kharazim can be great on Braxis. We've seen him picked here a lot too. But if the idea is that you're trying to go into the opponent's backline, then Anduin is of course key. So they're delaying the support pick a bit because they are seeing that there's no real squishies picked yet for the red team. And Madara and his boys are looking in Urel and Gul'dan. So Gul'dan, the main damage dealer here outside of Zarya. And Urel at that top lane going up against Hogga. Moment of truth, the final pick. What's it going to be for them? Captain Rex has to make a choice. Incidentally, one of the first people to play Anduin on the European server frequently. But now we have Deckard Cain locked in instead. And with that, we're headed straight for game #1, everybody. Team Dynouh against Team Madara. Game number 1, Dynouh against Madara, and this is going to be a highlight. Quasar playing Hogger for the blue team here on a Brexit holdout. We got Johan on Merlin, Dynouh on Genji, Rutsu on Cassia, and Captain Rex is playing Deckard Cain. On the right side, Team Madara, with the captain himself, playing Gul'dan. We got Ixia on Zarya. And Ixos is playing Stukov, Play on Garrosh, and Sven is playing Urel. So, off we go. And down to the bottom of the map. Ooh, we got a Fell Flame build also. And they are going for the top lane, by the way. So they're not going for the traditional solo lane at the top, but instead they're pressuring the top immediately and try to get some extra damage in on structures before they are swapping heroes over. So, yeah, gave them a free 50% of one of the towers. Good start. This is a really awesome... I mean, again, this is heavily anticipated. Ever since Madara's team did so extremely well, and was also the only team up to this point that was able to take down Team Skog, didn't even drop a single map in the process. I wanted to see how they're going to perform against the rest of the top 3 here. And if they now take down Dynouh's team, they have a very good chance to be #1 in the standings. Now, after this series, Madara's team has one more match that they gotta play. And I believe it is against Team Ultralisk, I might be wrong. But no matter who they're going up against, that team is currently not part of the top 3. So it should be a bit easier for them to get through that. So they have been really impressing me a lot. I know, broken record and everything, but still, we'll see if they can perform to expectations or if it's going to be a bit trickier to them. Talking about expectations, by the way, well, first of all, I didn't expect them to be this aggressive. They are now trying to steal the camp away. They might get the kill here, and yes, they do. Goodbye, Cassia. Damn. I don't think I was the only one not expecting that, because Team Dynouh didn't see it come either. So now the camp gets stolen. The first blood has already been accomplished, and whoo, that is a start, ladies and gentlemen. That is quite the start. Nice. But yeah, talking about expectations, I gotta talk about something. I'm always ranting and raving about things that piss me off and stuff that really annoys me. Particularly when we've been talking about series, I was extremely vocal about not liking when authors don't stick to source material or overdo it with not sticking to that and other stuff. I was pleasantly surprised the other day. I watched the One Piece Real Life TV show, and holy shit! I had no big expectations for this, never been a massive One Piece fan in the first place, but I am very heavily surprised, pleasantly, by how good that show is. It is much better than any anime adaptation has any right to be. It was honestly pretty great. I mean, it's still an anime adaptation, so of course you need to like that kind of style. But if you haven't watched it yet, even if you don't watch a lot of One Piece, but you like anime in general, I would heavily recommend that you give it a go. It's on Netflix currently, I believe, because that thing is damn good, like really good. As far as adaptations go, I gotta say probably the best one out there, or one of the best ones. So, yeah, big thumbs up for me, and very pleasant surprise. Blue team got a kill, at least. Question is just simply what they can do to stop this pain train, because not only are they falling behind on the objective, but also that top fort is already about to be destroyed. So this early game from Team Madara is absolutely ruthless. It is a bit bananas. Yeah, down here, Rutsu also getting attacked. Careful. Yeah, he's still able to move back out, and they're hoping to get now double access to the... They actually get it. They get the access here, so they got a few progress points themselves. And I really, really like the way that they're controlling this. 10%, that's all that they were able to gather, but with Madara just using Gul'dan to wave clear, and burn them down from a distance, they're keeping them at bay fairly easily. Urel at the bot lane is also holding her own, now also forcing Dynouh back down, so they were hoping to get a kill, which they couldn't get. But that means that there's another chance for the red team to take that fort down up at the top side. So, yeah, that one, again, that lineup is strong. If you have a Garrosh Zarya setup in the first place, you have so much sustain on the lane. And they're using that time and time again here. Another flip, another hit. Nice control attempts from Deckard Cain at least. They're fighting for this extremely heavily. Urel wants to retake down at the bottom of the map, but look how low the blue team is. They're extremely low, and they gotta back off already, and Johan is... he's in so much trouble, but he still got out. Good for him escaping there. That was not obvious that he would be able to pull that off. Genji is down at the bottom of the map. They are likely going to get the kill on Sven, and yes, they do, but the objective has been taken. So with them chasing, the Zerg wave has now been locked in. We have the top fort already destroyed. Sacrificing Urel made a lot of sense here, given the context. So yes, now the attack is coming. They are already moving down to the bottom of the map and are starting to do their thing here. But yeah, that is just such a great early game for Madara's team. In experience, they're actually a bit behind, but of course structurally this is the big difference that we're seeing between the teams now. They have taken such a significant lead when it comes to structural damage. The top fort destroyed, the bottom fort is going to take damage now. I don't think they can drop it, especially now that Gul'dan is gone. That is not going to happen anymore, but they still did a lot. Question is, of course, can they keep this up? Because you can tell that the blue team has different plans. They have a 5 versus 4 here. Urel is now coming back up, play with a couple of nice dodge moves, but they are still looking okay in experience. Now, what's the big news here? I mean, again, at the end of the day, if you are going for top lane control and your opponent doesn't have a fort anymore, it also means they don't have a fountain on that lane. Makes it very difficult to control that lane if your opponent can consistently go back to the fountain, top up their mana and their hit point pool, and you don't have that option. So this should play a role for the next objective phase. At the bottom of the map, we might see a split where now the 4-man of the red team focuses on the bot lane instead. I gotta say, this is what I personally would expect. Urel is likely going to make a move up to the top side. They also don't have to be there the entire time right now. And they're already attempting to put additional pressure onto the bottom fort now too, hoping, of course, to take this one out as well and remove another fountain from the middle of the map, which would allow them very likely to control the next objective with comparative ease. But yes, there's another flip. Garrosh, though, in trouble, in a lot of trouble, might make it out. Depends on Genji, and it's Murden that falls. Garrosh escapes. Yeah, that is still gonna hurt. And yes, they dropped that fort already low. Retreat as level 10 is on the horizon. They're still at slight experience lead for Dynouh's team, so they don't want to fall victim to that. Maybe level 10 will change the dynamic here, but the red team picks up their own. So now they got Horrify, which is of course oftentimes an absolute game changer in big team fights and can really make the difference. They're already moving in here. Nice, stay a while and listen. Yeah, they try. Horrify is out, and Gul'dan gets X-striked and gets killed. Kind of put a target on himself here. Now they're getting the second kill with Garrosh eliminated, and Team Dynouh is fighting back a lot. Yeah, they're getting a third kill too, so now it's 6 kills to 3. Dynouh's team has done a great job here. They're gonna get this one. Can somebody please channel? Thank you. Because they can get a lot of free progress right now. Boss or no boss, doesn't really matter. But that channel should at least be initiated, so now they're going to get that. And I love how they are going for more aggressive posturing now. Nobody's checking the boss, so it's not like the red team is going to make a move for it. Boss is going to be taken, and the objective is fairly... yeah, 48%. It's fairly good. The progress is fairly good here. A little bit more damage against Madara. Big look at the damage numbers, by the way, now that Cassia gets murdered. She's at 27,000. Gul'dan is sitting at nearly 30k, so he's slightly ahead. 48% for one team. Boss also taken, moving through the top, so if they want to stop it, they have to go there now. But apparently they're totally willing to slow this down a bit and instead are taking the bottom fort down, which they should. So good for them. That's already a nice first step. Don't forget, at this point in time, Team Dynouh hasn't destroyed a single fort. Now, they're working hard to change that. But we still have the battle in the middle. Yeah, Gul'dan. And can he follow up on something? He has Horrify again. Stun is out. Didn't connect with anything. Horrify is there if they can isolate. Genji is already saying hello from the back. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 battle, and the boss takes the top fort out in the meantime. Yeah, unfortunately for Madara, he gets immediately attacked by Genji upon save by Garrosh. Not really saved. And that is the first kill. So Khaldor now dying for the 4th time. They get a counter kill, so at least that's there. They get a counter kill, and they nearly got Dynouh too. Oh, but he comes in with the X strike and is able to survive. So job well done. Garrosh is gone. 8 kills to 5, but the old man is also low. They cannot kill him though. Yeah, he got another heal, and now it's another double control on the beacons. It is rough. It's a rough game. Lots of fighting here, lots of amazing moves initially by Team Madara, but now they're definitely starting to struggle a bit in team fights. Particularly Khaldor has a real problem at his hand. He just can't do a lot against Genji whenever these attacks are coming. We have 92% against 80 now, which is just not enough. First fort has already been taken down by the boss at the top right. First fort on the red team side, of course. They get a camp while fighting for the beacon, so good for them. Also, they will claim level 30 in the moment. But I like this. Really nice back and forth battles now between the two of them. Lots of aggression here. And another quick move over towards the camp where they have to decide whether or not they want to make a play for it. Then again, they go with Horrify for Muradin, and Muradin is murdered. Muradin is gone. Oh no! They didn't take the camp right away. Now it just gets stolen. They come in, they say, thank you very fucking much. We're gonna take this. And they're gonna get another follow-up kill against Deckard Cain too, don't they? Yep, indeed they do. Genji has taken the top beacon again. So at least they cannot get any progress here anytime soon. But of course, with all of these camps taken, you can bet your ass that they are going to go for beacon progress now, and they're going to get a camp which is going to give them even more control. So yeah, Dynouh is here, but now it's more and more progress for the red team. Now, they will have to face against a very strong Zerg wave either way, no matter what happens here. But of course, if they can at least make it a roughly evenly strong wave, that would help a lot to not lose control of the game. And this is exactly what they're doing now. 66% for them now. Cassia has moved back down to the bottom of the map, but even 66% is already pretty big. Horrify is not back yet. Johan is in a bit of trouble though, has to be careful and has to also pop Avatar, which he just did, and he's dead anyways. Avatar, no Avatar, it doesn't matter. Muradin is gone. Stun from Dequaza. He's insanely low, but might make it out. Nope, the Horrify just too good. And that means bye-bye Dequaza. At least the Zerg wave with 100% was won by Team Dynouh, but 67% on the red team side is still solid considering that they have a 5 versus 3 on the map. And they kill another one. So yeah, this is going to hurt like hell. It is not the 100% Zerg wave that they wanted, but they have a big one regardless. And now they can just barrel through the top lane, break down that wall and go for the keep. It should honestly remove the first keep from the map pretty easily. Deckard Cain isn't here, Hogger isn't here. If they play their cards right at this point, they might even get a follow-up kill. The taunt! And there it is. Just talked about it a second ago, and they got it. Muradin is destroyed. They got level 16 talents, so just look at that leading experience. They want Rutsu, and they get him. Can they go for core? Damn, this escalated quickly. Now it's a 4 versus 3 at the top. I don't think they can destroy the entire thing, but they should be able to do a bit of damage to it. So yeah, 97, 96%. Nothing too crazy. A little bit more poke. Maybe Dequaza. Careful, baby. He's gonna die. And yep, the core is at 91% and matters are getting worse. 88% now. Urel is on her way. It's only 3 defenders. Cassia is back in a moment. If they can do a little bit more poke damage on the core, that would be great. And they get another kill. Oh my god, this can't be happening. Look at this shit. They get one hit after another in. Core still gets attacked. They really want it here. Dynouh is able to get out. No! He X strikes in! But the core is still being crushed. And this is game, everybody. Game number 1 taken by Team Madara as they take the lead in the best of 3. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Okay, not only is the camera back, but we're also back with game number 2. Boys, girls, we're heading into Cursed Hollow next. And we got Team Dynouh down 1 map against Team Madara. That was quite the late game. Kill after kill after kill that they were able to get there, and always keeping the opponents outnumbered. So, pretty impressive. But, yeah. So, with that, we now have Sylvanas banned out. And I honestly, if Madara's team is able to take number 1 in the standings without dropping a single series, that would be quite something. And to just give you a bit of an idea, not only did they not lose a match yet, to my knowledge, they haven't lost a single map yet. If they take this with a 2-0, that would be bonkers. So I'm definitely here for it. I really want to see how far they can go with this, and also if this translates then directly into the tournament itself, or if this is only something that they can now do in the round robin here. But either way, it is a pretty impressive performance that they've been pulling off so far. And Dynouh's team had, of course, a lot of real good team fight moments, but they weren't able to break through this. Dehaka gets banned. Now, of course, there is still the rule in place that you cannot play a hero more than 1 time within a single match. So the 10 heroes that were played on the last one, they cannot be played again. We have Dehaka banned, since this is still a pretty big map and globals are always helpful here. It was kind of funny, by the way, also how quickly the map was chosen. So traditionally, if you're losing, or if you lost the previous map, most of the teams decide that they want to go into first pick, first ban. Here, that hasn't happened. So instead, the moment that Dynouh lost, he pretty much instantly said, we want to go to Cursed. So, no time wasted, came out, said instantly, we're picking map and we want Cursed. So we're coming immediately into our second map. And considering that they were so just like quick and on point with it, they must have something up their sleeves here. Diablo, he is the first pick now on the front line for play. And time for the double pick for Team Dynouh. Well, so much for having something up their sleeves, right? I expected some quick picks and we didn't get any of them. But yeah, let's have a look and see what else they now can do here. Vikings! Okay! Alright, here we go. This is what they wanted to go for. They show them early. They're fully aware that there's a good chance that any X-Factor pick is getting banned on the next one. So they picked the Vikings earlier. Fully on board with that. But of course you show the Vikings extremely early. Your opponent knows what's going on. They can try and react to it now. And we'll see if they can deal with the Vikings or if they're going to fall victim to that. But at least they have all the picks up. So they go Brightwing. And we have Sergeant Hammer ready to roll out. Hammer against the Vikings. Yeah, if you barrel through 1 lane and you take the opponent down, you need a strong foreman for that too, but you still need somebody that can deal with the Vikings on the other side. And it is Illidan that they're banning next. This is not a shitty ban. Illidan is one of the few pseudo-globals that is still available, and if you get to level 10, he can go for Hunt, and then you can control the 2 side lanes, deal with the Vikings as best as possible, and whenever there's a big team fight, you just simply use the Hunt to join the team battle. So, not a bad ban. I don't like it because I love seeing Illidan. It's usually Darkmok who plays him. I think we had him once or twice now in the round robin where he picked him. But I would have loved to see Illidan here. But from their point of view, it is not a shitty ban. So, what else are they going to pair this with? Normally when you're going for Vikings, you want to have a very strong 4-man. You want to have a 4-man that can just go down 1 lane and destroy it. That's where oftentimes Sylvanas is getting played, Greymane is getting played. You want to have a lot of damage to structures too. Could even make an argument for Sergeant Hammer in that constellation, of course. Jojo as the main tank, Karazim, alright. And that leaves us with Rutsu as the final damage dealer for them. Yeah, but as for the red team, it's the moment of truth now. So they already made their choice to go for Sergeant Hammer. They have Diablo, so they can go for a bit of a protect the Hammer composition. But they also need somebody that, at least to an extent, keeps the Vikings in check. And who's that gonna be? Well, here we go. Final 2 picks for them. It is Mayef and Sonya. Very, very melee heavy here, but also something that can handle, of course, a lot. Particularly Maiev could hunt them down. That leaves us with the final pick. So with that, we're now heading straight into the last pick for the blue team for game number 2. This is match point number 1 also for Team Madara. Keep that in mind. So they have a chance to make this a quick 2-0 if they can handle the Vikings and use Hammer to her fullest extent. Final pick for the blue team. For Rutsu, on the other hand, is Li Ming. So now we got Hanzo, Li Ming here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're headed straight for game number 2. Let's go. Game number 2, match point number 1. Quasar on the Lost Vikings, everybody. On the left in blue here on Cursed Hollow, Captain Rex with Karazim, Dynouh and Hanzo, Rutsu and Li Ming, and Johan is playing Johanna. On the right side of the map, Team Madara with Sven on Sonya, Madara on Sergeant Hammer. We get Ixie on Brightwing, Avixos on Maiev, and Play is playing Diablo. So it's Hammer time against the Vikings, and I'm all here for it. I want to see what they can do with this right now. So what's it going to be for the blue team? Salvation in game number 2. And the chance of redemption in game number 3, or are we gonna get another 2-0 victory for Team Madara? And also, again, I have to highlight this as well. Obviously, when we're looking at the red team, there's only one player that is playing from the US server, but Madara is still playing with a bit of a ping disadvantage. Now, you can always argue how much of an impact does that have, how significant is it really, but it is playing a role. Shout out to him for playing on the European server and participating in the European tournaments. I always find that awesome, so can really appreciate that. We have Cure playing with Legacy on another team, of course, too, and I've highlighted it there as well. But it is something that is worth pointing out just in case that you guys are not aware of it. Now, we have the Vikings with a little bit of an assistance of Hanzo at the top. Sven is not really able to do anything here. It's a big problem for him. He can't really play this any other way, with Hanzo just poking against him and the Vikings covering. Talking about the Vikings, Quasar is also now double-checking what's happening on the camp, and the team is reacting to it. At least they are about to, but Brightwing is now here as well. Hanzo says hello. They're starting to poke a bit. Sonya is moving in, and all of a sudden, with everybody starting to get some resources in here, the blue team is not going to really make a play for this. Hanzo is maybe going to poke. With some nice initial damage being done, but that's 2 camps taken. And essentially, this was a bit of waste of time from Team Dynouh. They couldn't take a camp during this, and their opponent's team has already claimed 2. So that's kind of important to know. Now, the Vikings made at least sure that they have the lane control, but at the same time, when we're talking about mercenaries, there is now a significant lead for Madara's team because they have mercenary camps on 2 lanes that they can try to push with. That's one's Maiev at the bottom of the map, and then of course also up here in the middle we're seeing the camp already focused down by Dynouh's team. They're doing the best that they can on that end as well. Down here, 1 tower down, gate pretty much destroyed, so some solid damage done. Johan also getting attacked. Madara. So yeah, he got away, but boy, he had some problems here. But he lives, so he's alive. And that's all that matters, at least for the time being. Hanzo also, target practice, straight into the explosive arrows. No tools, no big tools for the boss, no serrated arrows here, for example. And the first tribute is up. And Rutsu? Okay, quick stun. I thought they might push him just into the other wall and let Sergeant Hammer take aim too, but that didn't happen. Yeah, Viking is now with the interrupt. Level 7 obviously isn't here yet, so the mobility is missing for Sergeant Hammer. That's a bit of an issue. But Sven at the bot lane can now take the gate down and maybe even work that tower. They are giving up the tribute at the top, I would assume, from the looks of it. And yeah, was not enough. Just a little bit too short to get the interrupt. The idea would have been to try and delay this for as long as they can and then play around it a bit more as Sonya gets value at the bot lane, and that's what they're currently doing here. So we have them again making a quick play for Dynouh, already checking that one out. But yeah, as is, things are looking fairly alright. So here we go. Up towards the top though, what we currently have instead is Johan just tapping the fountain again. They still control the lane. They don't really have a problem over here. At the same time now, we're having a little bit of a move done at the bottom of the map consistently by Sonya, who's trying against Balog to get some extra damage on those structures and take the tower down. Now eventually that gate will fall. I gotta say that Madara's team is controlling this really nicely so far. They didn't lose too much ground. There's a bit of an exchange and structural damage done. One tower down here. Over on the left we see a similar picture. Bot lane has been exposed a bit. It's the one tribute that matters in the hands of the blue team. This is of course where things always get a bit dicey whenever you're just going into a situation where you have to consolidate your forces around a tribute and your opponent has Vikings that can use that time that you spend fighting for the tribute, pushing the lanes. So that one is pretty, or can be pretty tricky. Mercenary control in general would give a bit of a lead there to the red team. Yep, the Quasar just being a bit of a pain in the butt, as he should be. And everybody is now slowly moving in here, trying to make sure that they're controlling the space. Madara himself, of course, has finally had access to the Harbor Siege mode. Went, by the way, into the regenerative biosteel. So with this particular team composition against him, he didn't see the need for siege tactics and goes a bit more into what Nick has started to play aggressively. Another interrupt there. Jojo paid for it, though. Jojo definitely paid for that. But Maiev is low, and Li Ming is still looking for a kill, and just look at this. Up at the top with the Siege Giants, once the Dequaza pushes this in, you can kiss that wall goodbye, and maybe even more than that. So it's not too bad what they're trying to do here. They're buying a lot of time for the top lane in particular, and are getting the tribute too. That's 2 tributes to 0, also because of the level 10 that they were about to get. Diablo gets blown to pieces. Instantly a move by Dynouh and his boys. They get the arrow connected and they get the kill. Really well done. Nice effort by them. They get level 10. The second level 10 is there. The arrow gets thrown out. Then they move in with the 7-sided strike and Diablo gets kicked in the nuts a couple of times. So they can go over, take the boss. And that was the first kill, by the way, in this game. So nicely done. Up at the top though, that's where we now have also a boss claimed, and even with the vision that they just gained through the Vikings, this one's obviously gonna be taken by Madara's team. Each team with a boss now. Level 10 abilities have been locked in on both sides. And I guess Sonya should be able to help destroy the top 40 unless somebody moves in and deals with this. This, on the other hand, is a problem. Now it's a curse. And that is a very early curse. Now that can be a curse and a blessing, because the good news is that it's early in the game, so usually it's a bit easier to defend properly. The bad news is obviously that, yeah, it normally leads to your opponent taking a lead on the map and getting map control. So each team has now destroyed the first fort. The bosses have done their job. Bad news is this one is still fairly low. Team fight happening. Nice BFG. Damn, son. 1 kill, 2 kills. Beautiful. Really nicely done here. They get a double kill. And now they can also go for the triple, maybe. Johanna is in dire straits here. And yes, she falls. There it is. 3 kills. They picked up 3 kills. Sergeant Hammer is defending down at the bottom of the map. But that was actually exceptionally well played. So they get the APOC out. The BFG was absolutely on point. Big stun value too. The double kill that came first, and then they chase with a nice disc the next target down. If you now look at the map, what essentially was lost by the red team, they lost at the bottom of the map their fort, and they also lost hit points on the keep. So this is probably the part that annoys them the most. But if you look at the rest, they took a fort down too. Each boss claimed a fort, so it's essentially just that wall at the keep that has been destroyed, which isn't nothing, but we're talking curse here. So that curse has not given the blue team as much as you would think, especially when you're comparing this to, let's say, a mid-game curse, for example. So that is the bad news for Team Dynouh right now, and where things are starting to get a bit more dicey. Arrow, yeah, against Brightwing, but very far back. Blessed Shield is out too. Brightwing still alive, and now they're turning it on Karazim, who dodges the apocalypse. That was pretty sexy play from both sides. First Brightwing surviving, and then the Apocalypse dodge from Karazim. Check this one out again. Keep an eye on Karazim. Now first Brightwing that nearly survives, then, or that survives, and then Karazim dodges the Apoc stun with a 7-sided strike to make sure that he can move out from this one. Yeah, that could have been a kill for sure. If Karazim dies there, they can pressure this further. Very, very nice game. And just awesome how both of them are fighting tooth and nail for every single inch here. So big, big plays being made right now. At the top, and look at experience too. I mean, they are so close here. If you compare experience, then the hero experience, that's where we have a big gap in favor of Team Madara, thanks to them killing heroes that were higher level. Structural damage, better for Team Dynouh. And everything else, I mean, again, fairly comparable. Yeah, the stun against Diablo, I don't really think that's going to do enough for them. Disc is out against Li Ming. Can they do something here? They're trying, and they get a slam bam. Thank you, ma'am. She's gone. Li Ming is down, killed by Sonya. And, well, there's the chance to push. Vikings are still controlling the bot lane, so eventually somebody has to take a closer look at that lane so that the keep doesn't suffer any damages. But they are doing damage now in the middle. They have another tribute up that they could be claiming now too. So Sonya is already there. But yeah, that is some very, very nice pressure that is being built up by the red team now. Sonya is dealing with Vikings, but as long as they're interrupting here, it also means they can't do too much. Maiev has already taken this, and now Dequaza has to be careful that he doesn't lose Balog down here. Catapult, of course, has to be taken out. The entire wave been pushed out. Level 16 is in. They're trying to channel again, and of course the interrupt is there, as always. And they're coming in with everything they have. So Apocalypse is already out. Can't get too much done with that, but at least nobody died. 16 versus 16, that's what we're talking now. And this means that Largen in charge is now ready, and the Cleansing Touch, so 2 big upgrades for them. Arrow, Sergeant Hammer is gone. Maiev tried to jump out. They get the counter kill. Hanzo is dead. They got the counter kill, and here comes the Poli. Can they get another one? They go for Karazim. Jojo is insanely low. Vikings have channeled the tribute while all of this happened. So it's another exchange in kills that we see between the two teams. And they are trying to go and steal that boss. Now this boss is particularly important because if it gets taken by the blue team, this keep down here would get destroyed. Diablo is zoning out Rutsu, and they are hoping for the boss, but oof. Yeah, now that the blue team knows what's happening, let's make a move, guys. This could be game ending nearly. Brightwing is dead, boss still there. Root, no! Maiev is dead as well. Yep, they get the BFG, not even that hits properly, and now they're going for another kill, this time against Diablo. He doesn't stand a chance there, had to go through the choke point, and there was just no escaping it. And of course this means that the bottom keep is now going to fall. And the only question that I really have is if they can maybe even go for the core. It's still early and those death timers aren't very big, not very long, but this is a big chance to come in now and try and take this one down. This is a huge opportunity right here to try and claim victory on this one. The keep is going to fall 100%. If they can get more than that, that's the big question. If they're even willing to risk it, and the answer is no. Even with the boss, even with the siege giants, they're just saying like, yeah, not really. So let's not do that. I mean, the idea wasn't necessarily bad. They thought they had a window. They were trying to take the boss away to prevent exactly this from happening. Core is, by the way, not going to take any damage because Sonya was on guard duty. Vikings are still pushing at the top, and thanks to that boss push, they were also able to pick up a second tribute. So now the blue team has taken 5 tributes in a row, courtesy of the Vikings. And the fight and the party continues now in the middle. But look at the experience gap as well. I mean, they definitely have now an insane lead on that. Another hit! Oh, Dynouh! Yeah, they want kills and they need kills. They're starting to lose too much ground here. That's the big problem. This, on the other hand, eliminates Li Ming, and all of a sudden they have a bit of momentum in their hands, and they need it really. First of all, they need that tribute. Second of all, they need to find a way to get ahead here. close the experience gap a little bit, maybe take the boss after claiming the tribute. They're using a lot more resources now on this tribute to make sure that the Vikings cannot come in and interrupt this 50,000 times again. Yep, there it is. Eric gets deleted. And now they can go for the boss at the top. It's 28 seconds until Li Ming is back. There's just no way this is being contested. Even with level 20, that wouldn't work for them. But what the blue team is doing instead is they force the middle, go for the fort, and are trying to take this one on. And obviously with catapults now on the core, it also means that somebody has to fall back. We're 14 minutes in. Might be that the minions alone are already taking care of it, but Sven is now hearthing. So they're moving her back. Boss claimed level 20, they bought themselves some time, they got the tribute. And of course they lost the fort in the middle, so that is the price they paid for it. But the core hasn't taken any damage, they're pushing the bot lane out. Boss can move through the top and maybe take the 2 towers down. And the next tribute might be spawning a little bit too early for the liking. Dynouh's team has level 20 talents and the red team does not. So they're bridging this very quickly, as you can see. Should be able to lock that in before it becomes a problem, especially with Sonya now pushing for another minion wave down at the bottom of the map. Level 20 talents for both of them. Highly realistic. Siege Giants to deal with the boss. This one has only taken a single tower out. That's all that they got. And well, there it is. Level 20. And they don't have it yet. And this is for a curse. This is again for a curse, and I guess they are just... They're gonna eat it. Second curse! Second curse against Team Madara. Now they have level 20. It literally came like 3-4 seconds too late. That's great timing. And of course, a very annoying situation for the red team. They definitely did not want to be in that spot. It means they're going to lose the top fort. And they might lose more. So, yeah, bad news as is right now. But once again, here we go. They're starting to make their play in the middle. Siege Giants at the top side are going to take that fort down, so there's no chance of saving that. Look at the damage numbers also on the side of Hanzo and Li Ming compared to Sergeant Hammer. They're just so far ahead. And talking Sergeant Hammer, they want that kill, another condemn. They nearly got it too. But not quite yet. Then again, they could get a kill here themselves now, thanks to the disc that just got thrown out. And I guess, yes, they take the Vikings on. Drop 2 of them. Nobody else has fallen. And the curse is over. So the good news is they haven't lost the keep yet. Yeah. Keep has not been lost, not even been really damaged. Middle, they are still poking this a bit. But I love how the red team just isn't out of this yet. They suffered 2 curses already. Played against the Vikings there the entire time. They were wiped on, more or less wiped, on a boss. And they're still fighting for this. There is, of course, a big difference now in structures. That structure can, that difference can only be bridged if they are able to get a bit more done here. So already another quick move made for our girl Maiev. She gets out. And they turn that fight around. Vikings are now part of pretty much every single team fight here, obviously. Large and charge alone is already huge, and I mean, they provide more than that. But that added stun is big, as you can see here. Diablo gets immediately caught and chunked down hard. Urutsu taking aim again. But they are trying to apply that pressure with Sergeant Hammer now. Good tether. Oh! Joanna makes it out. Apocalypse. Can they get a kill? They can. But it's only Vikings that are falling here. It's the only thing that they're getting. Vikings get destroyed, but that is just not going to be enough. Now down here we have 2 catapults coming up on the core. They are trying for the boss again. Nah, really? I am not sure if I would really recommend that. And the core is, of course, getting attacked too. This would be a good kill. If they can take Jojo down, that's a very different story. She's insanely low, drops the Blessed Shield, and that helps them to get away. Blessed Shield taken out. They go for the camp here. This one, at least, cannot be contested. Disc is hitting Li Ming. Disc is hitting Li Ming, but they don't want to move into that choke point. And their core is losing hit points. That's the next bad news. So they need to send somebody back, and I guess they are about to do that now. Well, actually, for now, they are totally willing to sacrifice a few more points on the core, as it seems. And I don't think that is a smart choice, because they're going to lose way too much. Brightwing is the one that moved back. Brightwing Hast. That core is insanely low. And of course, the blue team is now going for the fight, because they're realizing that Brightwing isn't here. That is another tribute that gets channeled. Boss can now be taken. This should be game. 56% on the core because of the Winions. Winions are doing work, and once that the boss is taken, we're 20 minutes in roughly. They're gonna go for the core. This is the only chance. Win this fight somehow with 4, but they lose the boss, and now they're likely gonna lose the fight. It was the only chance they had. They had to YOLO it. There was no other way. You would have lost the game either way if you don't go for it. So they are throwing this little last attempt to take him down, lose everybody in the process, but it doesn't change the outcome anymore. The second this boss was taken and the blue team was still alive, they knew that the game was lost. 56%, it's just not enough. Everybody is getting wrecked over here. And we are going to game number 3. Yep, it's gonna happen. The first map loss that Team Madara suffered in this tournament. They lose to Team Dynouh. So there's still a chance that Dynouh gets a victory against Madara's team here. We're going to find out on the 3rd map of this series. Core is getting eliminated, and a very, very nice match continues with the final map that we're going to get any moment now. 11 kills to 8 here on Cursed Hollow as Team Dynouh locks in the victory. GG. Alright, first map loss for Team Madara. They lose on Cursed Hollow to the Vikings. Trying to throw a Hail Mary towards the end at the boss, and it did not work out for them. Was the only chance that they really had after the core got already chunked down to 50-60% by the Winions. But yeah, losing the map completely to the Vikings obviously put them in the end a nail into their coffin. Now we're heading into Towers of Doom, and it is again the map choice of Team Dynouh. Now, to be fair, this time it was obviously Madara that lost the previous map, so they decided they wanted to have first pick, first ban. That's why we have the map choice coming through. So Dynouh in game number 2, they were immediately going for Cursed Hollow. They wanted to play the Vikings, which was very evident since they also picked them super early before the 3rd ban, so that was big too. Would still expect that Sylvanas is now also getting banned out, Lucio and Tracer are getting the boot first. I believe Dehaka and Blaze are also both still up, so the heroes that have been played before cannot be played again, meaning 20 are out, but if I'm not mistaken, then the 2 that I just mentioned were only banned previously and not actually played, so they're technically up too. So if you don't want to ban Sylvanas, or you want to pick her for yourself first, then you would now maybe target the side lane instead. Ah, and they get rid of Vala. Okay, so they're really targeting DPS now, eliminating the 2 of the heroes that Dynouh could have for sure played with this. What exactly is Dynouh gonna get rid of? This honestly looks more and more like a Sylvanas first pick. Which would make a whole lot of sense, of course, as well. So if you pick Sylvana first here, that would give you an incredibly strong hero. Stitches gets banned, okay. We've seen quite a few tank first picks for Madara's team as well. But if you're talking damage dealers, then you really have to think this through now. Because you just banned out 2 of them. If you leave Sylvanas up, yep, there it is, the pick. This is the only pick that makes sense here, given the ban pattern that we've seen in the previous games and now here. I mean, literally the only one where you're like, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. That is valid choice here. But okay, so with that now said and done, we have Sylvanas locked in. Great pick, obviously, duh. Especially when you can win a team fight. Kerrigan and Anduin. Ooh. It's dangerous, but I like it. It's like Light Bomb with Kerrigan to jump in is already very good. Also, when Kerrigan goes maybe a little bit too deep and doesn't land the combo and finds herself in trouble, Anduin can help her very quickly. But what are we getting? I would expect side lane pick for sure now. Again, I believe that Dehaka is... Was Dehaka played on the last one? No, right? No, here he is. Okay, so Dehaka is in. Nice. And we get Mal'Ganis at the front. Okay, Mal'Ganis and Dehaka. Tough to take down. Good lineup so far. You got the global. You got Sylvanas. And here comes Medivh. Yeah, he gets banned. You can still target some of the damage dealers here. You already have your own Sylvanas, so that is something. And they go for Blaze. Again, these are the heroes that were banned on the second map. Keep that in mind. So they banned Blaze, they banned Dehaka. Now the two of them again appear in the draft here. One picked, the other one banned. But let's see what the next two picks here are. If Dynouh already picks, if he waits this out. Currently still thinking like what else could be. Like, I don't know if anybody would pick an Avatar comp here. If they can do something around that maybe. But they need a good range damage dealer too. There's ETC and there's Leoric. Alright, so ETC, Kerrigan, Anduin, Leo. I mean, yeah. If you can control the game, this is great. Lots of stuns, lots of tools you can use here. But of course, on the other hand, if ETC gets targeted and then gets murdered, then boah, it's gonna get very dangerous very quickly. And Chromie can fire from a distance. It's a very strong lineup that Team Madara is playing. It's all a question of momentum. If the Team Dynouh can get those kills and build the momentum up in these fights and hit isolated targets or just initiate the engage properly, that lineup is dangerous. You have Leo for the Entomb, you have ETC for that power slide, you have the potential Mosh, Kerrigan with the combo, Light Bomb later, Anduin saving whoever else out there. But it has to be coordinated absolutely perfectly or you're going to run into real trouble. We're going old school on the damage. We go for Jaina, so we have a Dreadlord on each side. And with that, everybody, we're going for game number 3. So off we go. Final map in the best of 3 series. It's Towers of Doom. The final game in the match. We have Dynouh on the left on Towers of Doom with Dequaza on Leoric. Dynouh himself is playing Jaina. Rutsu on Kerrigan, Johan is playing ETC, and Captain Rex is playing Anduin. On the right side of the map, Team Madara with Madara himself on Chromie, Sven on Dehaka, Evixos on Sylvanas, Play on Mal'Ganis, and Ixir on Ana. Great day, great matches, that's how we like it. Actually, today was also the first day in 2 months that I've been riding outside again with my bike. Again, I had like 2 major accidents. Once got hit by a car. Then 6 weeks later, another accident where I slipped in a roundabout with a bike and dislocated my shoulder. And so now finally, after mainly training indoors and building the shoulder back up, I've been riding on the bike outside again. I gotta say, I am still massively terrified riding outside right now. Just always terrified to have another crash, making a stupid mistake and falling on the shoulder again. So yeah, it's kind of bonkers how your brain plays tricks on you in a situation like this. So at this point, I really just have to get another 500 or 1,000 kilometers under the belt and make sure, you know, that you build those new memories and just can tell yourself, hey, it's fine. You just had a streak of bad luck, but yeah. What's good being outside again? Weather here in Spain, still fantastic, still really nice. Hanging out with my friends and just going for a couple of climbs here. So a really nice start in the day, and then you come back to casting some Heroes of the Storm and you have some awesome games like these. So yeah, it's actually a really, really fun one. Very much so enjoying it there. Now, teams are going for their camps as the 1 minute mark drops. No invades, nobody's getting overly aggressive. It's game of 3 after all. So, oh, actually, somebody's going for a bit of a global touch on this. Maybe a bit late and runs straight into the combo, but nearly got ETC here. And now that Anduin already used his trade, this might lead to a kill if they can go. Leo coming in from behind on the other hand though is already turning this into a nice battle. So yeah, as is, everybody just moved away from the lanes. They actually tried to go for a fight and it turned into a small one. What was maybe a bit of an opportunity. Bit of damage has been exchanged, but nothing too fancy has happened just yet. We got some extra... Oh, actually? Oh, Johan! Woo! Close call, my friend. That one got dodgy quickly. That is the problem. If you don't get the initial kill with your combo and you used all of your abilities there, you can run into trouble. Also, take a bit of a look at the talents that are taken. We actually have Ghastly Reach now on level 4 and Consume Vitality. So slight adjustments already being made by the players. In this case, we got the Frost Armor on level 4 for Jaina. The Haka is up at the top. Obviously playing around his global here, taking advantage of that as he should. And over here, a little bit of a pew 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 with Anna going in for some sleep darts. Yeah, Ixia on that hero is pretty bonkers, so I want to see what he can pull off as the game continues, because he destroyed some teams with his Ana performance in the past, and I am very, very curious to see what exactly he can do as we're getting into level 10 in particular and now starting to fight for all of this. When it comes to builds, he actually went into contact healing and now into the debilitating dart as a level 4 talent. Yeah, shots are being fired, and up at the top left, Dynouh is channeling the altar, so the last one standing is the one at the top right. And the red team is going to claim this one way or another. So they push this out a little bit. Ana is still able to save this. So it's a 2-for-1 trade in altars for Team Madara. Again, typical early game that you have here. It's been a while since we saw a 40-0, and there's not enough NA involved here to get that result. If anything, then Madara's team is currently the favorite, given the results that they had in the round robin, so yeah. Stacks with a sharpened blades, we're at 27, ETC also with 10 on his level 1. And down here, it is still Mal'Ganis diving around. So, yeah. We get in addition to that also the Ice Flurries here. Hopelessness for Leoric. I gotta say that when we're talking about particularly the Khaldor movies, Hopelessness with Leoric was one of the best ever. If you've never seen this, then I honestly, I don't really know. So if you know where the link is, if you have it handy, then post it in the comments or something so that other people can check it out there. But yeah, that Khaldor video with the hopelessness and Leoric just telling everybody that they're shit was one of the best back in the days. Leoric just insulting everybody and just telling them how crap they are and how useless they are, and everybody is just despairing completely. Khaldor always amazing, ever since the good old StarCraft days where they had the beginning, but yeah. So the teamfights continue. We still haven't seen a single kill yet. Dynouh is eating some damage, but he's also progressing on his baseline quest nicely. So once that he has Ice Block available and another defensive tool, it's gonna be pretty good too. But yeah, we got in the middle another minion wave carried over towards the wall, and one of the towers is gonna fall as a result. Single altar at the bottom of the map for now. I honestly love Crowd Surfer. Crowd Surfer, when it gets used properly, is kind of fun. It's a very entertaining talent, not only to play, but also to watch. So I really like that. And it can be a super cool play as well, if you properly are able to execute it. But yeah, over here, Dynouh, okay, he gets saved, was in trouble there for just a second. And again, things continue quickly with another ETC power slide. Good follow-up combo, and Sylvanas is dead. Sylvanas down, she's gone, channel has happened. Madara, he just dances. He knows that he can't make his way out of this one. He doesn't care. He got the channel and it's all that he wanted. So Chromie sacrifices herself for the greater good, which in this case is 4 shots against the blue team's core. But I love that Madara just didn't even try. He was just sitting there like, yeah, I'm dead. I know. It's okay. I got the channel. That's all I wanted from this one. So see you guys later. Have a good one. And yeah, I mean, worked well for him. Now down to the bottom of the map. There's nice. The attempt to go for Ana. And yeah, they nearly saved her, but she still falls. Anduin, then again, is also in a really shitty position, and I guess he's gonna die too, so both of the supports get taken out here. And the play is not quite over yet, but ETC gets the power slide back in time, slides out of the fight, and is back. So yeah, good for him. Now, then again, we're already looking at 3 kills to 1 in total, and that means a lead in experience for Team Dynouh. I'm telling you boys, they could actually be the ones winning this series after all. So Madara, they were the favorites given past results heading into this. They haven't lost a single series yet, but right now things are looking a little bit different. So it is in fact the blue team that is walking away with a bit of a lead. Now, to be fair, not on the objective, not on the core. But we all know that momentum is all that really matters on Towers of Doom, and that the late game usually goes to the team that is able to build up the most momentum here. So, yeah. But down here, what we already have is a focus on Mal'Ganis. Goes for the ult, pushes them back a little bit, still tries to force this, and they're poking heavily around that altar. A bit split here, particularly Sylvanas is in trouble, but is able to get out. Now the Haka joins the fight. The power slide is there immediately, and there is the combo. Kerrigan setting it up for the team. They take the Haka down. Leo comes in from the side. Even play with Mal'Ganis is in trouble and might fall here. Sylvanas is also dead. ETC with another awesome power slide. I really like these crowd surfer moves that we're getting from Johan, and it works so well for him. So now it's 6 kills to 2. They get the channel, and of course they have the talent and the experience lead that they can now use to control this further. In this case, it leads to Jaina getting another channel down at the bottom, so they're drawing even. They're drawing fully even now with the opponent's team. Each of them are sitting at 28 points on the core as we speak. And they got 26,000 damage on Chromie's side now, 18,000 for Jaina. And at the top, it's the Haka still pushing this out a little bit further. So far, so good. Now, as all this continues, we have Evix. Ooh, yeah. Sylvanas gets caught, and ETC with another ult and no interrupt, at least not in time. They are dominating this now. They are doing work here. They got 1 kill. Good defense after that, but it's really just the kills that they pick up and the momentum they get on the back of it. They want to convert a couple of these bell towers over, and that is of course already a bit of a tall order, but generally speaking they are still doing some very nice work here, walking away with a massive experience lead, trying to also steal a few additional camps away from the opponent, and just doing what they can in order to stay in control. Madara sniffing this out, also sees what they're doing now at the camp that they're trying to go for. It's a 5 versus 5 if they get everybody over here, but for now it's just the blue team that has most of the numbers. Drag against Jaina, so yeah, Dynouh gets hit by the tongue, but the fight isn't over, and Kerrigan with the Chrysalis. Rutsu trying to make his way out, might die, gets healed still, and Rutsu is finally down, but so is the Haka, and the camp was claimed by the blue team. So again, they walk away with an advantage, and if play now dies as well, that would mean they're getting even more out of this. But no, at least for now they're able to take this. But the experience gap, it is significant, and it is getting continuously pushed further out. So yeah, they are doing extremely well. And the shots get fired. So initially they were the ones behind in core points. Now they are the ones that are actually ahead. So yeah, they've taken the lead on this. They are now ahead. And with that said and done, we have more camps on the map that are immediately getting targeted by the blue team, who have now 8 kills to 3. 8 kills to 3, and take a look at the experience distribution here too. Minion experience firmly in their hands. We have them with the lead on heroes experience, and only on the mercenaries are they just by smallest margin ahead. So there it's still fairly tight, but the team is just doing so well, and now with the level 16 talent they just got, Anduin is a total different level now. They're going in also with an entomb possibly, and yep, there it is. Play is dead. Goodbye, Mal'Ganis, and that is kill number 9. Exactly. So, control definitely going over to Team Dynouh. And this is fairly impressive. They lost the first map, and then they played Vikings on Cursed Hollow. That brought them back into the match. And now they are just shutting down Team Madara wherever they see an engage happen on this third map. Now, this isn't over yet, But what we need from Team Madara, if they want to have a chance, is not only level 16, but they also need to really start winning some of these fights. And currently they're struggling on that. There's too many stuns. Johan is making some great plays with his crowd surfer. We have Kerrigan following up on a lot of this. Jaina with even more CC. Now down at the bottom. Yeah, nicely done, but Madara, good heals, great heals. Despite everything that was just thrown at Ana, she survives. Dehaka channels to the top right, Leo top left. The fight down at the bottom of the map could decide who gets the third one. They're trying again for, well, Mal'Ganis, but they used a lot here. They might actually lose that fight now. And then Sylvanas dies, just as I say it. They go for Anduin. Oh my god. The holy cow, ladies and gentlemen. ETC with the Mosh. They didn't have enough of the damage there. Rutsu is... Don't tell me. How is he alive? How are they all alive? Jesus. Everybody's so low and it's Mal'Ganis that dies? Are you serious? That's just bananas. How? Like, how did Kerrigan not fall? Now Ana is dead. Oh boy, oh boy. Sven is there too. It's a full 5-man team wipe. Look at this fight. Kerrigan was low so many times. She had absolutely no right of surviving this. And instead, it is Mal'Ganis that dies. And then everybody else is also getting murdered. Now they're going for the bell tower at the bottom of the map. I'm honestly just wondering if they could go for the one in the middle too if they wanted. But that's Captain Rex getting 5 shots for the team. And we are down to 15 points for the red team. So, yeah, that hurts. That absolutely hurts. That was very well executed in a team fight. Team Dynouh with some big boy plays that they are able to execute there. And that was just, yeah, that was just nasty. So, a great job that they were able to pull off here. With that now said and done, we got Play being attacked now too. Once again, it is Mal'Ganis that is the focus of their attention. 52,000 damage for Chromie, not that it helps her. We have 48,000 for Jaina. And what else we're getting is more and more control for the blue team, who now picks up the level 20 talent. Storm talent sein. So that gives us Wintermute. We got Entomb, Bolt of the Storm, also ETC with the tour bus, and then the sensor for Anduin. And they have full control over this. Full control here. Dehaka as the global is obviously now trying to do at the top lane whatever he can to get them back. Even Sylvanas is helping out to get some of these camps faster, so that maybe they can take control over the top bell tower and make this a 4-4 control situation. But yeah, this is not really looking good for them, obviously. So they're trying to get that bell tower. They're trying to get this done quickly. One pumpkin gets still murdered here. 2 more come in, bit of damage is done, but in the middle they could lose that bell tower now too, and it seems like that's gonna happen since the blue team is fully committed to it with everyone that they have here, or at least most of them. They got close. I'm actually still shocked that they don't go for it again just to get the next rotation of cooldowns in. But okay, Kerrigan is on it. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Kerrigan is on it. That's 6 shots fired guaranteed, so single digits are inevitable now. Team Madara is down to 9 points on the core. And again, it's still a 2-level lead. 2.5 levels. Level 20, that's the big one. There's the sleep dart coming out. They got Chromie, they got Ana, so it's going to be tricky to channel this. The more time they can buy, the better, as long as they don't lose anyone. Yeah, combos get barely dodged. Dehaka played with a lot of fire there and nearly got burned. Are they going to move away from this, or are they willing to engage into it again? That's the next question. Yeah. Shots still being fired galore. And by the way, while all of this happens, Dynouh has split off from the team and is now with his ability rotations just going for the bottom of the map and grabs another camp for them. So now they have technically a few more shots that could be fired. Dehaka is already defending. Dynouh isn't even coming back top. I actually don't even know if this is that bad for Team Madara. As long as they can just control this and interrupt, they're totally fine, because it helps them to buy time to get enough experience for level 20. Boss could be taken in the meantime if they want to split somebody over there. So maybe they can try and control that with a few heroes, or they have to make a play for it. And apparently they're deciding that that's exactly the move. Make a play, but Johan slides out to a boss, and bye-bye Mal'Ganis. Sexy plays by Johan. Honestly, I really like the way that he's controlling these. Karrigan again starting to make a move for the top. And they're all getting away here, but that bell tower is about to be taken too. So yeah, if they can take that bell tower, it's a barrage. Look at that slide. Bam! Slides over. Always these little plays with the crowd surfer. Moved in, move out. Then he gets the tour bus in, and that is the end of that. 4 points on the core. It's a 4 versus 5 battle, and of course that means they can go for the boss and maybe end the game right here, right now. At least force a fight. They're sniffing out Sylvanas as is already. What a great game here from Team Dynouh. They're looking fantastic. Maybe a chance to prolong the game a little bit. Sylvanas is dead, but can they take Captain Rex down? I guess they should be able to. Yep, Ego is down too, but Chromie has died as well. Now they're going for the next target, which seems to be the Haka. Boss has therefore been thwarted for a bit longer, but the problem is not only the boss, the problem is also that the next altar is spawning on the left side. So there's a double altar that gets played. 4 against 3. That's what we have on the map right now. Again, they're getting pushed back. Oh, Chrysalis by Karrigan. Seems like Rutsu fat-fingered some of his buttons here. Or did he dodge something that I missed? Either way, we now have Ixia getting attacked, comboed, and goodbye. Another quick hit, and now they are in a position where they can finally claim this one. Alrighty, let's go. Okay, so this should definitely mark the end of it now. Yeah, or not. I mean, 15 seconds until the altars are up, so they're tapping the fountain now. Ah, Anduin was dead, so that's why Karrigan activated it. Okay, fair enough. I was the entire time wondering if I missed something that Karrigan was trying to dodge, but Anduin was actually gone, so yeah. Yeah, Mal'Ganis is dead too. 20 kills to 4. I mean, guys, again, at this point, it is just simply a question of when it happens, but we all know that it will happen. Swing to the face, mace to the face for Sylvanas. She's gone, and now the channel has happened. That is game. Nicely done. The first loss of Team Madara in this round robin as Team Dynouh takes the best of 3 with a 2-1. Congratulations. A really, really nice series here at the RavenCourt.